Sisters podcast.
Yep. It's time.
We're back, everybody.
Heck
Let's
yeah.
go. And this time we're talking about
The winter arc.
the winter arc. I need your enthusiasm, JT. Where's the enthusiasm?
It's
He had
here.
another early
It's
morning.
here. It's
working
here. There's
out.
a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of thoughts because it's hitting.
We got a lot. So we first just want to go over what is a winter arc, right? To
Yeah.
kind of explain if you guys haven't heard of that term before. I actually heard it last year for the first time. I didn't know what it was, like around Christmas. No, I guess it would be in the fall time around this time last year. I had never heard of the term before, but to my understanding, it's like instead of waiting until the new year in January to set all your goals and like reset, make your goals for the year to start now. That way you're all prepared by the time it's the new year, you're already ahead of the game. So what about you? What does it mean to you?
So from my understanding, it's basically it starts October 1st and ends January 1st, and it's basically those last 3 months getting into the new year. You know, and what I personally see with what I like about the approach of it is that during the winter is when everybody, like over the next 3 months, that's when it's the easiest to really fall into comfort because it gets colder outside. All the holidays are coming up between, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and it's really easy to just be in that comfort zone. Which, it's easier to put on weight. It's easier to fall back into bad habits. There's a lot of like darkness, so to speak, because wherever you're at, like the weather just changes. And it's like versus when the sun's out and it's 75 degrees, it's like you can do anything. Everything's a good day. But it's like when it's snowing, when it's cold and rainy and it's like tough, you don't want to be outside. It's like there's more of you
just
more
want to cuddle up and just watch Netflix.
Yeah.
And eat cookies and drink
Yeah.
pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah,
At least
and-
that's what I wanted.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like it's kind of like countercultural almost of taking this approach because you lean in onto more of like a discipline and grittier side of everything. So I really like it. I've like heard about it over the past 2 years. Heard about it more last year, and then like this year it's like people are like posting stuff about it, and I think at the end of I think like broad scale, one viewpoint I want to put in there is like throughout the year you should be consistently like developing your discipline, your character, your faith, your health, like that should be an ongoing thing. But I definitely think like this is a time where it's easier to fall back into comfort, slip away, and really take like that opposite approach of like I'm gonna really push because it's a tighter frame of time too in comparison to doing like New Year's resolutions, which is what everybody's gonna do when the new year starts. And it's like, okay, well I'm gonna like have all these New Year's resolutions, and then after like a week everybody just kind of gives up, versus like this is like the like 90 or so days you get to just like lock in, and you can kind of take it to a little bit more of an extreme because maybe you're somebody that already is disciplined in a lot of areas, but you just want to like lock in and just tighten it up a little bit more for the next 3 months versus falling into comfort. And like that could be an area where it develops you going into the next year, and you can set it as like, oh well, I've been eating this for the past 3 months and I see the outcomes that it has. I'm not going to go as restrictive, but like I see what I did and I want to maintain this throughout the course of the year. So it's like it's kind of like a time to just lock in and just go full send into something. And that's what I like about it. It's like it's a challenge. It's like you can reward yourself at the end.
That's true.
Potentially. versus a year is a longer time. It's 12 months. This is just 3
Yeah,
months.
just lock in for 3 months, and
Yeah.
I feel like 90 days is a good, like, because 30 days is almost like too short, but I feel like 90 days is like a good, like, the time.
Yeah. So another part of it is like, I think the broad scale of it is like it's developing grit, and I don't know. I've been like looking at some stuff about like military lately, and like people talking about like that term of grit, and it's like it's exactly what it sounds like. It's like that nasty like it's the sand in between your bootstraps, or like the sand in your boots that like are like
That's good.
it's like it's grit,
Like gritty sand.
you grit your teeth, right? It's like it's hard, and it's like it's almost more of like a mental challenge than it is, it's a mental physical, but you only develop grit by more so doing those physical acts, right? It's like you can't just wake up and say, I'm mentally tough, I have grit. Like I have grit, therefore like when adversity comes, I just get through it. But it's like if you've never actually been in circumstances or put yourself in circumstances to develop grit, then like you're just not, you can't just mentally put yourself there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think like this is a good time of the year to develop that trait. Doing the uncomfortable, waking up early, you know, pushing it hard in the gym, following a restrictive diet plan, like doing stuff that you don't do on a daily basis, but creating a consistent track, because like it should be something that you're doing. Call it in a couple days or in a couple weeks, you're tired of it, but because of you're trying to seek deeper within yourself and pull more out of yourself, it's like that's what's going to develop that grit factor, and it's like knowing that there's an end of just the creating the consistency. When motivation fades, what are you relying on?
Yeah.
And it's like that's where that grit is kind of comes in. So
Yeah, I feel like that's like a whole nother level of like what I was kind of gonna do for like the winter arc. I mean, I like the concept of that,
I mean,
but I guess like
you got some
no,
stuff
I mean,
in there.
huh?
You got some stuff in there.
Yeah, I think that's like really good, especially for a guy like you that like already is going to the gym too, but you're like wanting to take things to like another level. But I feel like it's also good for people like me that maybe you're not as consistent with the gym, and it's like you want to get a head start on like the new year and not just be like most people be like, oh, I'll just wait till the new year to set all my goals, and like for me, like I feel like this is helpful for me because it's like, no, I should start that now, and then that way I'm not putting it off for another 3 months. I'm like, no, I'm gonna start right now, and then I'll be ahead of the game for the new year. Let's go.
Yep.
And I think it also helps too, like around the holiday season, of like, I know for me personally, I'll probably still like treat myself when it's like Thanksgiving and like Christmas, but the in between, try to stay on a routine. That way I don't feel as guilty indulging when those times come when family is over, because to me, I feel like I kind of believe in if it's 1 or 2 days out of the rest of the year, and I'm just going to treat myself, like, and not make a habit of it, then I think that's fine. But instead of, if I didn't set this winter arc up, I feel like I'd be like, oh, it's the winter, fall season, I'll just eat whatever I want and just start it fresh in the new year. But it's like, no, I'm going to lock in now, and then that way when those holidays do come up, like I don't feel as guilty just treating myself for a day or two or whatever. I don't know, that's just me. I know other people probably have other viewpoints on that, because sometimes it's better to just do without if it's gonna cause you to continue in that unhealthy cycle. We each came up with some points. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, yeah, we can get right into it. What is something, I guess you could say, either a trait or something that you want to develop or something that you're going to do over the next 90 days to embrace this winter arc getting into the next year?
Yeah. Well, I think overall, as far as like a trait, I'd say just like discipline. Like, I want to just become a more disciplined person overall, and that's like a biblical thing too, to be like disciplined. And I feel like I need to be better at that, and also tying that in with just like more like consistency, you know. I think that goes hand in hand.
Yeah, they definitely go hand in hand. It's like we all have different aspects that we can become more disciplined in. It's like you can be disciplined in some areas and then not disciplined in other areas for sure. Like, to be well rounded in everything, it's like, honestly, that's a really hard way to live. Like, really, really hard.
Yeah. So I made like a list of things, or we each kind of came up with like a list of things that we want to touch on. Some of our ideas might overlap, so we're going to go over that. But my first thing of what I want to do over the next 90 days is getting up early. And specifically, I had an actual time, like 5 a.m., which is going to be hard for me. But I put in here, you know, I want to go to bed earlier, maybe read before bed. And I feel like that'll help me allow myself to get up earlier. I don't know about you, but seems like my body needs like at least 8 hours of sleep.
I need like
sometimes
10.
like 9 or 10.
Which is totally normal. I mean, like, that's like,
it is.
if you want to function well.
I thought something was wrong with me. I'm like, 10 hours of sleep last night. Wow. But I feel well rested, you know?
I mean, there's probably a chance that you're missing sleep on other days, which is why it might be like that.
Yeah.
I mean, sleep is really important, and I don't think, like, the idea is to give up sleep. It's more so to set your schedule in a different aspect because, and, you know, it's different for everybody. You could go the opposite route and be like, I'm going to get up at X time, but I'm going to stay up until 12 o'clock or 2 a.m. in the morning, but this is, like, the time that I'm going to spend working on my craft when it's quiet out. And I think, like, that's kind of, like, the ultimate premise of it is, like the why behind why you're getting up early. Because it's like, I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and then I'm going to wait 4 hours to go to work. And I'm not going to do anything for those 4 hours. I'm going to go play video games. It's like, well, like, it's like almost, it's like, you know, and it's like,
just get more sleep.
It's, you know, like, it's the same thing. Like, I'm going out past 8, staying up till 12 every night, but I'm going out partying. And it's like, well, it's not like, it's like, why, like, what are you doing at those hours? Yeah. And I think it's like, what can you fill in? And what would you say are a couple things that you're going to fill in at that time, or have you been filling in at that time?
Well, I like to work out in the morning, so that's the main thing. And also, too, and we'll get into this in the other bullets, I don't want to get into too much detail. Yeah. But, like, you know, spending time in the Word, working out, and I also want to get up earlier so I have more time to actually have, like, a breakfast and sit down and take my time in the morning, because sometimes I have to, like, heat something up really quick, or I don't even have time to eat anything before work, you know? And I feel like that's a really unhealthy, like, bad habit to not have any breakfast. I just grab a protein bar and then I'm like, okay, this is my breakfast, or I just have some frozen eggs in the morning. Yeah. I'm like, I need to have an actual breakfast and...
Yeah. No, I've been struggling with that too. Just like with like the diet restrictions that I've made as well. Like this morning I was eating like spoonfuls of ground turkey, just like cold ground turkey out of a Tupperware, and I'm like, well, I gotta get protein in somehow. And
oh my god!
I'm like, this is awful. I'm like, I need to prepare it differently because I'm not doing this every day. That's nasty.
Oh my goodness.
But anyways, to stay on point, I think that waking hour, I think that sets the premise of like a good winter arc, because that creates the time for you to do that stuff in the quiet, right? When no one's up. And I think like just a couple things on top of my head that we're going to get into later. You know, Jenna said exercise. diet, like take the time to, eat the right foods or eat good foods. That's part of it, but also um, getting quiet with getting quiet time in with the Lord, praying, getting into the Word. Those are all good things too. Um,
Yeah.
and another one that I'm going to get into later, but like something that goes along with like the performance aspect, but doing cold exposure and heat exposure as well. So
Yeah.
and it's like those are all things that you can do before you go to work if you're getting up at that early hour. So are you getting up at 5 every day, or?
That's a very good question. I'd say on my working days, probably. Maybe not on my. I don't know. I didn't even think about that. On my days off, because I feel like on my days off, those are like my rest days.
Yeah.
I might not sleep in like super late, but maybe instead of 5, I get up at like 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like recover. Why? What about you?
Yeah, like I haven't thought that deep, um, because past 2 days in a row I've gotten up at 3:30, and it's like, is that sustainable? Heck no. Like
Yeah.
like is that? It's not even that. Is that sustainable? It's like for me and my schedule, is that logical? So it's like the earliest I'll get up is 3:30, but I think like the latest I'll get up is maybe like 6, which like I'd say that's still pretty solid for like even it being a rest day or your day off.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It's like I think if you're still like that's what time most people are getting up just to go do their daily job. So or their daily work, daily life. So I think that setting almost like that very latest time, like I'm not allowing myself to sleep in past 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or 7. Like I think if you, because then again, you're creating that window for you to fill in the gaps with, or fill that time gap with doing these good right things to do.
Yeah, and I just had a thought when you mentioned that. That's a good point too. I didn't think about. I feel like for me personally, I think everyone's different. I think it depends. Like, are you someone that has to just have a consistent schedule, otherwise it's gonna throw you off? Like every day you should get up at the same time, or I feel like for me, I'll probably be more likely to actually get up early 5 days out of the week if I know I have 2 days where I can sleep in a little bit later. Like it would be more sustainable to me, I think. We'll see how it goes. But I think I'd be more likely to keep it if I'm like, okay, I don't have to get up at 5 a.m. every day. And as long as I do 5 days when I'm working, keep it consistent. And then my days off, I'll sleep in a little bit, like a couple hours later than 5 a.m.
Yeah. And again, like this could go in the opposite direction too. It's like, hey, my day kind of ends at say 8 o'clock, but I'm gonna now take this time to get in the Word and go to the gym from 11 to 12 p.m. at night, but then I'm just gonna sleep until 8 or something the next day, right? It's like it goes both ways, because like that's not an easy. I think it's testing your mind and your body to do just the uncomfortable, and like I've done that before where I've gone to the gym or I've gotten done with a session at 12 p.m. at night, and it's like, well, obviously I'm not gonna go wake up at 4 a.m. the next day. So
Yeah.
and is the time the most important part? Probably not. I think it's what the time is being used for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like if you're using that time correctly and efficiently, then and to create good habits, I think that's what that's truly for. Because no matter what, you're stretching your mental capacity to do something that's difficult and you're not used to.
Yeah. The only other thing that I wrote in here was like a hatch alarm. Have you ever heard of that before?
Is it like tell me.
It's an alarm clock, and it's kind of random that not random that I put it in here, but I thought it was kind of cool. Like if you have the ability to invest in an alarm that will help you get up earlier. Like I've been wanting this hatch alarm, and it like sets like a sunrise, and you you wake up to like a light and sound, I think, and stuff like that. Or you can just, I think sometimes what I like to do is just Google. You can Google like best time to go to sleep if I want to get up at this time, and then just do that. I feel like that's better than maybe spending the money on that because it's kind of an expensive alarm clock. But anyway, just little things like that that might help you get up earlier. And then I did put a verse in here. This is like from Proverbs 31 as far as like getting up early. It says she gets up while it's still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. So I just think that's cool. It's just like talking about the what's the word? The Proverbs 31 woman. There's like a word for her though. It's gonna come to me later in the podcast. But essentially she's like a woman that like has so many great attributes and like what we should aspire to do. So it's talking about, getting up. It says while it's still night, but I just think that means like getting up when it's dark outside still in the morning. And in that time frame, she's able to provide food for her family and her servants. So, I just think that's kind of cool. It just shows that like getting up early is like biblical and to like use our time wisely, steward it well.
Amen. So how are you what are you gonna fill in those hours? You mentioned the gym.
Yeah, so that segues into, I guess, the next note, right? So for me, just being consistent, I put quiet time with the Lord, so that could be, like a Bible study, or like what really has helped me recently is a devotional book, and not just any kind of devotional, because whatever works best for you, but I like the devotional books. I have one that actually has you read like multiple chapters or like one chapter of the Bible, and then it has you answer like questions. So I feel like it just makes it more engaging for me, and I'm able to kind of learn rather than like I used to more so do like the SOAP method, where you read a chapter, and I feel like that's still a great method too, but I just wanted something a little different to I felt like I was kind of in a slump of my quiet time, so I was like, I'll try something different. I'll get like a little booklet. I actually have one, the one I have right here. So this is a Daily Grace Co. book is the company, and she has a bunch of different ones that you can pick from, and so this is just like an example, like this one goes from Matthew to Revelation. And this is like the daily like reading with some questions. So I like doing that. So that was my second one. What about you?
Yeah, no, that's the first thing I do when I wake up is like roll out of bed and then just like roll out of bed, make my bed quickly. So I don't forget. I'm just like, it's there. Put on a sweatshirt.
You make your bed?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's a bed maker, ladies.
Anyways, and then it's like, I basically do like the same routine every time where I'll start off with a devotional. I've had the same devotion book for the past 3 years, and it's like every day it's a new reading. Gives you a little verse and then gives you a little breakdown and extension, to kind of provide context and how it kind of relates back to you. Gives you a couple questions and, ends with a prayer. And then I go from that directly into the Word. Right now I'm in Jeremiah. And then after that, I spend time praying in my journal. And I that is, that's something that's worked for me over the past 3 years. I enjoy just like that kind of structure, allowing to, I'm horrible at comprehending the Bible, or just in general. So if it's if I can kind of get a little bit, of like a starter message with the devotional, to kind of that's what that verse means kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's I'll read something at first glance, I'm like, I don't know what it is.
No,
means.
I'm the same. not just the Bible, but just reading comprehension in general.
Horrible
I'm
at
not,
it.
and that's why having resources helps a lot for me.
I tested horribly on that stuff in high school.
I literally, this is a little, tangent, I guess, but
Yeah.
in elementary school or something, or middle school, whatever it was, I remember we had reading comprehension tests, and they would pull you out into the hallway, and you'd have to read aloud to a teacher, and then they would ask you questions after. And I remember this one time I read this whole chapter or whatever, and then she's like, "All right," and then she asked me the first question, what happened in the whatever? Tell me what happened, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's what color was the dog? What color? Yeah, what color was the kid's hat? I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea what I just read, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What was Billy's name? I don't know. It's Billy. Yeah. Anyways, were you finished with that point?
Yeah, pretty much.
So another yeah, I was talking about the word and everything. Yeah. So another thing that I've been testing lately, so following Freedom, the first 2 weeks we were asked to fast from social media, which I made it 5 days. It was supposed to be for 2 weeks. It didn't work very well. And then the next ask was when you're driving or when you're doing stuff alone, just be in silence. And when they said that, I was like, yeah, that's not happening.
Oh my god.
Immediately I was just like, yeah.
Did you ever try it? Okay,
Let me finish my point.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, immediately I was just like, that's not happening. There's no way. I literally can't get from point A to point B without music, a podcast, YouTube, anything. I need to be distracted because I hate listening to my own thoughts. But then I was we started, I was in the car and I was listening to stuff and, thinking about this and the winter arc and everything. And I'm like, is this a all the time thing that I can do? I can't. Especially with what I'm doing right now, with how long I'm in the car for. If I'm in the car for 4 to 8 hours a day, I cannot sit in silence for that long. Mm-hmm. Heck no. But it did hit me while I was driving. I was like, you know what? Maybe we should let's take the next hour to sit in silence and just think through some thoughts. And it is crazy when you start doing that because you're always in communication with God. God's always trying to speak to you. Oftentimes we just don't listen. Mm-hmm. And it's we often get in these phases where, oh God, I need an answer. And a lot of times we can actually work through this stuff in our brains just because he's trying to speak to us. Those things that you're wrestling with when you get put in silence, it's he's giving you that for a reason to wrestle with it. Oftentimes we just distract ourselves and we don't wrestle with these things. We just distract ourselves from it. Meanwhile, that's where a lot of times we can have our breakthroughs. And I was like, dang, that's created a lot of revelation in that. Now it's I want to sit, I want to take that time to sit in silence more often. When I'm in the car, all right, from 2:30 till 3:30, we're just going to go silent. And, I'm going to speak, I'm going to speak and pray and, talk to my Father out loud. And it probably looked like a crazy person in my car, but it's I'm just going to do that. I'm going to have that conversation with him. And he's going to guide me and lead me and, speak to me. So there's definitely been a lot of clarity in that. So I think that's definitely a big aspect is of this whole winter arc season is cut the distractions and enjoy being in that silence. And honestly, some of those conversations that you're having, they're very uncomfortable. They can be very uncomfortable at times. That's why we often distract ourselves. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of growth from having that conversation, leaning into it, and actually battling through that conversation.
Yeah.
So
I really like that.
I really like that so far.
I pulled a verse to go with like the quiet time with the Lord, just so it shows that it's like biblical and stuff. It says, "Blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers, but who delight in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers." And that's Psalms 1 through 3. The last one, too, for reference, was Proverbs 31:15. But I just like how it says, like, and I remember one time reading this verse and just being like, what does that mean to, like, meditate on the law, like, day and night? And I kind of, like, Googled it a little bit. And really, like, I think it can mean a lot of different things, or, like, not a lot, but, like, a few things you could take in a different way. But I thought it was nice to just, like, find a verse. Like, so when you're doing your Bible study in the morning, find a verse and just kind of, like, think about it, like, during the day. Like, and just kind of, like, meditate on it. And I know sometimes the word meditate's kind of like, ooh, but, like, if you do it in a biblical way, like, on a verse or something, like, find a verse. And, like, if you're anxious or something, find a verse that talks about, like, anxiety. Like, cast your anxieties to him. And just think about that through the day. And I actually, like, made, like, a wallpaper with, like, a verse and set it on my phone. That way, whenever I looked at my phone, I'm like, okay, like, I'm going to think about this verse anytime I feel, like, anxious. And then it says that, like, you'll be, like, fruitful and your leaf will not wither. And whatever they do prospers. So I just feel like that's a good verse for the whole winter arc. Subject, because it's like, by doing this, by taking time in the morning, like, you're planted by streams of water, like, you're gonna be fruitful, and that's what, like, God wants us to be, is fruitful. And yeah, I just think it's a cool biblical note. Something a habit I want to get into is, like, setting a timer and to, like, pray out loud. I already kind of do journaling, and I feel like that's a great option if you're not already doing that. But, like, setting a timer of, like, 3 minutes of, like, intentional prayer time. And there's, like, this method called ACTS. So it stands for Adoration, Confession, Thanksgiving, and Supplication. And essentially it just breaks it down into, like, a layout for your prayer, and you guys can research that on your own time, but I feel like that's a good way to pray, because it's like your like, adoration would be like adoring the Lord, or like anything of like, God, you're so good, etc. Confession, any sins you want to ask for forgiveness, and then saying what you're thankful for, and then like supplication of like a prayer request if somebody needs something, or yourself, your own needs. So I feel like that's a good, like, structure.
No. What else you gonna do at 5 a.m. in the morning?
All right, next
You're gonna do
thing,
it 5:30 in the morning.
Next thing, your probably favorite part that you want to talk about is, well, maybe not, because everything is great and important. But I know he likes to work out.
Yeah.
He's a workout guy.
Yeah.
So work out at least 20 to 30 minutes every day. And I know that's probably like nothing compared to what he does, like 2 to 3 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
Or more, probably.
Yeah.
But your girl over here just needs to get back into being consistent. And I said at least, and every day. So that's like,
it's more than me. More days than me out of the week.
Yeah, so that's the thing. My thing is just becoming more consistent. Like, I want to do this every day. Some days I'll be longer than others. Some days I could be like an hour. But like, if I just tell myself, okay, Jenna, and I feel like this really helped me once, is like, I just don't want to do it. But if I'm like 20 minutes, like, seriously, you can't do 20 minutes. And then I end up just doing it, and then
20 minutes of burpees.
And then it's like, if I end up doing it, then I might go longer, you know? And I'm like, oh, like, if one day I feel really tired, I'm like, okay, I'll just walk or go on a run for 20 minutes.
How many burpees do you think you can do in 20 minutes?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
So for me, that looks like walking. I love this one app. It's called Form, Form, and they have Pilates and strength training. They actually have like a little quiz, and it'll give you like based on your needs if you want to focus on like nutrition or strength training or like Pilates or what kind of equipment you have access to, like the best kind of workout plan for you. So I have like a 6 weeks one just to get me started. That's gonna have Pilates and strength training. They also have like a gym workout schedule and stuff. So it helps me to like come to the gym prepared and not just be like, oh, just lift some weights, you know, to actually have like a plan. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just not gonna do anything or it's not gonna be productive. So what about you?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna work out for 8 hours a day, right? You're gonna work out for 8 hours a day? No.
I wish. See, like, that's the easy part. I think. So I've basically just been consistently working out for anywhere between 2 to 3 hours a day, 5 days a week for almost the past 3 years, and probably even more than that. That back then I wasn't as consistent, but I love the gym, so it's like it's not really that hard to be in that place for that long. Like it's I'm passionate. Like I have a lot of passion going there.
Which I feel like is good. We have two different dynamics because I can speak for the people that maybe struggle with the gym, and then you for the people that like already are gym goers.
I think like literally speaking for me, and like this can be for somebody else too. I don't think that this would be the message for the first time gym goer, but my kind of adaptation that I want to make is like, and like we sit here and say it, but it's like consistently over the next 90 days, like guaranteeing that like I didn't leave anything in the tank. Like today,
you left no crumbs.
Yeah, like it's so hard because it's
you
like
make the plate.
It's so hard because it's like you're battling always between like pacing and overdoing it and blowing up, and then just like pacing it perfectly. But it's like when that last round hits, or you're like it's literally like getting into that last, like what's gonna take you like that 90% zone. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the 90%.
Like the between 90 and 100 of like what you're truly capable of doing in that session or that thing, right? And it was like today I was doing running and rowing, and on the last round, like I honestly like what the shape that I'm getting into, the shape that I'm in right now, I'm not in love with when it comes to just like aerobic fitness, but like strength is like sky high over the last year. It's progressed a lot. Now it's like I'm working this new muscle, and that's like the aerobic system that like has been kind of put in the back for a while. So like doing intense cardio is like rough. And it's so easy.
You don't have to tell me. I don't even like just regular cardio.
It's so easy when like when it's not like this week. Like yesterday, I worked out, threw up when I got done. I'm like, I have not thrown up in over 2 years, like working out. Like, and like I am usually like tossed over sitting right under the fan, like sprawled out, like I'm dying. Some days, but I've never had to like straight up just like I got done with the workout, 10 minutes goes on, and then just projectile vomit outside. I'm like, are you serious? Is this actually happening? Now, to be fair, I didn't work out at all last week because I kind of had like a little week off to get ready for this mentally. So, but it's like a rude awakening because it's like everything is cardio now.
and it's a lot less strength. So it's a different muscle, but basically the main point that I'm trying to deliver is like I don't want to go home knowing like I did not give like there were no reps like left in reserve almost.
Yeah.
Which like to some sense it's like you got to know when to dial back and push, but like when to in the phase that I'm at right now cuz like I'm so far like back. You know, you don't want to get injured and you don't want to but like I don't know, man. Like I just want to attack. Like I'm just especially with like this topic in the whole winter arc, it's like, you know, for the next 90 days, can I just push to that threshold and just like do it literally, like do it with no regrets. Do it and just go to that final gear and be like, hey, I got this done and I literally had 0 left. So for one of the pieces I did today, I was like, man, I probably could have gotten like one more rep here, one more rep here. And then on like, that kind of carried over into the next piece that I was doing. And it's like, it was going bad. But when it's like it's going bad, that's where you have to lean on. Because it gets so easy to just throttle back. Like, oh man, I'm out of shape. I suck. Like, I'm not fit. This is horrible. I just want to go home. Like, it's depressing how, like, bad everything feels right now. But I can either choose to lean into this uncomfortable feeling right now, or I can pull back and just get to tomorrow. You know, and it's like, I was like watching some like Rocky parts from Rocky, and it's like Apollo Creed saying like, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Like today, like it needs to happen today. We got to make change today. Like make the adaptation today. You keep just like chilling out, and it's like you're gonna, 90 days are gonna go by, and you're gonna be like, man, like I'm still kind of like stuck. Like I didn't progress the way that I wanted to, and I want to get done with the next 90 days and just be like, hey man, I gave it everything I had. Like there was not a single thing that I could have done better. And is that like realistic? It's honestly probably not. Just because like your body's just your body, but it's treating every day with that kind of purpose and intention and intensity. And that's the point I want to carry into it. Of just like really emphasizing that fact, that piece. So that's my 2 cents on working out. If you're somebody that's been working out at the gym for the past 3 years and you're in the same place that you've been in, like I'm speaking to you.
Oh, he's calling you out.
Like
he's gonna call you out.
What are you leaving in the tank?
He's coming to your house. No, I'm kidding.
He's knocking on your door. It's time to get up. It's time to go, son.
He's looking through the peephole.
But yeah, like, cause then not only that, it's like you go to bed and you're like, man, I gave it all I had, and like I won today. Yes. The fulfillment is like it's there.
And for me, it's just like I went to the gym today.
Yeah, and it's like, we all have our
and again
levels.
and again and again. I just need to like build that consistency, and then that way by the new year I'm like, okay, let's take it to another level.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to carry this same kind of point into like the diet piece.
Okay.
And
I was just gonna say real quick, I had another verse with that, and I thought of the word. It's a virtuous woman came to me. So as far as the Proverbs 31 woman, and so there's a verse that says she sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. Mm-hmm. So it just tells me like she's like a strong woman, not only probably spiritually but also physically, and it allows her to do like her work well. So anyway, you're gonna talk on diet.
Yeah, like that's one of the pieces. I'll get to another one later, but that's probably the biggest one for me. Is diet, because it's like. So for example, like last year around this time, like I was doing really good up from like I want to say like April up until November or like October of last year, where like I was locked in on my diet. And I saw like really, really good results, not only like with like aesthetically, but also like in my fitness too. So, and just like everything, like less joint pain, less, inflammation, just better recoveries, like just more consistency overall, like better mood, better energy, like all those kind of factors. But basically what I did is I wrote out and like, this is what works for me. And I'll get to some other options here later. But what I did was I was literally just like, what is my kryptonite right now? What is it that like is killing me? What is it what is it that I'm feeding my flesh right now that's like I'm just getting lit up by? That's destroying it. And it's like just little things. So I wrote out this list just to simplify it, because then it's like I'm out in the world, or like I'm out like trying to like, what am I gonna feed? What am I gonna feed in? And it's like I have this list of everything that I can't feed on. So it's like, as long as it's not having one of these things in it, then I can eat it, and I can eat as much of it as I want. I find that works way better for me than just like calorie restriction. So I did that last year, and I was like, dang, like this works. Then October comes up, Thanksgiving comes up, you're going to people's houses, it's like they're giving you food, they're giving you this, and it's like you just start indulging on it, and it's like,
don't eat grandma's pie.
Yeah,
Tell her
back to that convo. Don't eat grandma's pie. Tell her how you feel. But
you were back in that,
yeah, like that, yeah. So through that
season,
through that season, like that's where I was like, dang, like, January comes by, and I'm like, I don't like the way I feel as much. Like, I feel like I'm missing a step. It's like the momentum that I was having kind of like faded. But it all started when it's like you had this opportunity to like either say yes or say no. And instead of choosing, no, I'm not having that, I started saying yes to just like those little, it's okay. And then the problem is that it's like a domino effect.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, well, I had a protein bar. Like, protein bars are healthy, right? And it's like, I don't know, like, they are and they're not, in my personal opinion. There's a lot of junk in a lot of them. So, but it's like, oh, it's a protein bar. That was just one of those things I wasn't allowing myself to have because of the certain things that was in it. But I was like, yeah, like, I'll have that. It's healthy. And then it's like, yeah, I'll have like a diet soda, and like, yeah, I'll have like some rotisserie chicken, and I'll start having some cheese. And then it's like those habits, like everything that I was saying no to.
Yeah.
I was like, screw it. Like, as long as I'm like, doing these things, I'll be fine. And then it's like a year goes by, and you're like, man, what happened? What happened? And it's basically like, now I want to do that again, but take it to that next extreme, which kind of sounds a little crazy. So, like, I did the same thing, but it simplifies it. It really, really does simplify it. So it's like I got all kinds of stuff, like processed fats and oils, sauces and condiments, dairies and creamers, processed carbs and sugar, pre-made restaurant-style meats.
These are all things you can't have.
Yeah, and it's like there's like, this is just kind of like the overarching like label of what they are. Like, for example, pre-made and restaurant style meats, rotisserie chicken, deli meats, sausage, bacon, pepperoni, breaded or fried meats, anything labeled pre-marinated or flavored. Like
so specific.
Yeah, it's just like, but it's like,
it really works. Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that's on my list. I can't have it. Snacks and packaged health foods, protein chips, Rice Crisps, popcorn, nut butters, trail mix, yogurt, store-bought granola bars or granola. Like, most people are like, oh, like that's kind of healthy, but it's like I start overindulging on them.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, the problem isn't what it is, it's the fact that I'm over consuming it.
Yeah.
It's like I like it, it tastes good, so I keep eating it, but it's putting me in it's like that's what's killing me.
Yeah.
It's not that it's unhealthy to speak, it's that I'm overindulging on it, and that's what's the unhealthy part about it.
And I think you have to know yourself too in that sense. Like if you can have that self control, but sometimes it's better just to just say no altogether.
Yeah. No more lattes. No more.
You're not gonna have your maple lattes?
Nope.
What about
is
White Monster on the
Nope.
list?
No more White Monsters either.
No more White
No
Monster.
more energy drinks. Like
when did you start this? October 1st?
Well, I started it yesterday. Last week I just indulged completely. I was going full fat boy mode and just eating everything, like 10 cheeseburgers way too deep. But yeah, like just no, like, and basically what does that cut it down to? Lean meats, egg whites, fish.
Yeah, what does that water and
Lean meats, egg whites, fish, white rice, potatoes, oats, and I'm probably not even gonna eat any of that. Fruit, veggies, black coffee, water, and electrolytes. But it's like I can have as much of that as I want.
Ooh.
But it's like what I've found just in the past 36 hours. I started on Sunday. But over the past basically almost 3 days of eating like that, you realize how hungry you actually are all the time.
Yeah.
Like, like egg whites. I hate egg whites. And it's not because they taste bad. It's that I've been eating them forever, and that's what's developed them to, like, taste bad.
Yeah.
Essentially. Like, just plain old egg whites, or... You can only put so much on it to make them taste good. Like, it's just, especially if, like, you can't have cheese. You can't have, like, sausage or anything on them. Like, how do I make these taste good out of what's available, And what I find is, like, when you're only eating on those kind of foods, it shows clarity of, like, how hungry you actually are. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, if you're hungry, you'll eat anything. Mm-hmm. If you're not that hungry and you're just craving something, put a bowl of egg whites in front of you or chicken breast, you're not going to want to eat it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I really want some potato chips right now, or I really want some ice cream. Oh, why? Are you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry. Okay, you're hungry. Go eat some egg whites. I'm not eating that.
Yeah.
Okay, I will go eat some egg whites. You start eating on it, and you're like, man, you know what? I took like 3 bites, and I'm really not, like, I don't want to eat any more of this.
Yes.
And it's like, that shows so much clarity of, like, are you actually hungry, or are you just, like, are you just tempted, and you have a craving?
Yeah.
And, like, that's the perspective that I've got on this, because when I get done a workout, like, before I came over here, I made myself a bowl of ground beef, egg whites, and potatoes. And it's, like, just so bland, so boring. But I was at the gym for, 2+ hours and came home tired. It's like the first meal of the day. And I'm like, either I'm going to eat it or I'm not going to eat it. It's like either I'm hungry or I'm not. And I ended up eating like the whole thing because I was actually hungry. Mm-hmm. But it's like I'm eating these really high quality foods that are going to like fuel me properly. Whew, and then you get full. You eat it until you get full and you're like, you don't like your taste already hates it enough where
yeah, that's a really like interesting concept, and I think so many people probably just don't even think about that of like their hunger levels. Like, are you actually hungry? Are you just having a craving? Mm-hmm. And that's probably, I mean, because you just saying that, I feel like it's like wow, because I feel like I can tell, and I know you don't think protein bars are really like that healthy, but I can tell like if I'm hungry, if I'm craving something, and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry, I want some chips or something, which I usually don't buy chips. I was in a season where I did, but anyway, let's just say I had chips. But if I like tell myself like, no, I'll have a protein bar instead, like I'm just having a craving, then I probably won't eat the protein bar because I'm like, I don't want to eat a protein bar. I'm not really that hungry. Mm-hmm. It's just I'm craving something salty or whatever.
Yeah. And again, like, is this long lasting? Like, no. But, like, that's kind of the point of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is because one thing I have to keep in mind is, like, my goal out of this is not to necessarily lose weight. It's more for performance aspects.
Yeah.
You know, whatever little pieces that impact performance, whether that's, you know, the more headaches I have, the, you know, having bad energy, you know, or having, you know, inflammation, or like my joints hurt, or my muscles being able to recover faster by fueling myself better. Like, I'm giving myself free roam to eat as much of that as I want. Now, that's a hard task to do because doesn't taste very great. And again, this isn't something that's sustainable for a long period of time. But with where I'm at, like, it kind of lines up perfectly for me to get in a certain shape that I want to get in. And I'd say once this season's over, I'm going to start to add in, you know, just a couple things that I'm kind of starving my flesh from right now. And it makes you appreciate it a lot more eventually, too.
You ever, like, have a meal that is just so good? It's just
Yeah, all the time.
so delicious. Like, you're literally like, thank you, Jesus, for this food. It's so good.
Yeah. Every time I go to Shake
Oh
Shack.
my gosh. For me, it's like, I'm not proud, but I went to, like, Rocco's Tacos a week ago or something, and I got, like, the burrito tacos with, like,
Yeah, that stuff's good.
brisket and cheese, and with the pickled onions, and oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you, God, this is so good.
Yup.
And then when you're not eating like that all the time, and when you treat yourself like that, it just tastes like so much better when you don't eat it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's like kind of like the goal for me of, like, I don't know, like, are you gonna, like, on Thanksgiving, are you gonna maybe not eat some of the things?
no, I'm just gonna say no to it. And I think, like, that's kind of, I feel like that's what I want to get, excuse me, out of, like, this whole thing is, like, how can I grow through this? Because that's going to be something, like, I'll have to prepare for. But it's like, hey, there will be options. I can eat the green beans, and I can eat the turkey, and I can eat certain things. You know, I don't advise this for everybody. I'm not saying everybody has to do it, but that's what I'm doing. Because I have a certain goals in mind that I want to accomplish, and I feel like this is what best supports that.
Yeah.
And if I can fight through these little things, because it's like, you know, I in theory, you know, I'm going to be turning 24 here in a couple weeks, and, you know, I have the rest of my life to, you know, and I'm going to have kids, and I'll be able to, like, really celebrate, like, some of these holidays and stuff. But where I'm at right now, it's like, I want to just, like, get dialed. Yeah. And this is the way I want to do it. Now, I think there's other options you can do too, right? You can track your macros, right? Track your calories, carbs, proteins, and fats, right? Or you could just be like, hey, maybe your one thing that you do for the winter arc this year is, like, I'm just not consuming alcohol. Maybe that's just, like, the one thing. Or maybe it's like, you know, cutting sugar's hard, but maybe it's just cutting, like, one thing that, like, you really love. Just one. Like, I'm cutting, like hundreds. I'm just
I know.
cut, like,
I was,
one.
like, trying to think, like, I was thinking the diet aspect, but I feel like I really need to focus on, and I know they go hand in hand, but I really need to focus on the working out.
Yeah.
Aspect, and I've tried cutting out, and I am actually cutting out alcohol for the rest of the year. Well, actually, I want to, like, continue that, but I was gonna cut out, like, sugar, but I feel like I did that, and, like, I didn't really notice a difference, me personally, cutting out sugar, but it kind of led me to not, like, I was getting the Chobani coffee creamer. And then I instead cut that out because I had sugar in it, and I got, like, the nut pods, so like no sugar or whatever. And I feel like I've been able to just do that now instead of having. So I feel like I don't really have that much sugar. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes I have cravings, whatever. But I'm not like someone that keeps ice cream, you know, at my house and I eat that every night.
Yeah.
Or I have muffins every morning or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like I really just want to become more consistent of eating, working out consistently, and then maybe like just not eating out as much because I feel like that's where, even to like financially, just eating out, it's just better to just eat at home
Yeah. Absolutely.
and whatever.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's having perspective. Like my goals are definitely different than most people's goals. And like the reason why like I feel like I can do this is because I'm already pretty restrictive as is. Like,
Yes.
Like if you're somebody that eats donuts, ice cream,
Chips.
pizza, you know, eats out throughout the week, you know, you drink soda. Like I don't do that. Like I maybe have one of those things like once every 4 to 6 months. You know, very rarely I'm gonna eat any of that kind of stuff. Like I never eat ice cream anymore. Like it doesn't even like phase my mind. Like anytime like somebody, you want ice cream? I'm like no. Like immediate answer is no. So, and it's like if you haven't developed that skill, it's like if you're trying to go from, hey, I do eat ice cream every week to like I'm not eating Greek yogurt. Like I'm not eating any dairy products. Like that's not for you.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like maybe it's just cutting back on certain things, right? It could be, hey, I'm only going to have, you know, one cheat meal a week. Or it's like I'm only going to eat, you know, one dessert a week or, you know, one every 3 days. Maybe all you eat is dessert. You know, it's like, or maybe it's another thing of like, I'm going to start consuming more of something else, right? It's like, I'm going to start drinking more water, or I'm going to start eating 200 grams of protein a day, or 150 grams of protein a day. Or like, I'm going to start eating vegetables with every meal. You know, it could be just like little changes like that versus going to the full extreme.
Yeah, I found I just, when I first moved into this apartment, I was like, oh, I'm on my own, I can eat, like, whatever I want, and, and I wasn't eating anything crazy, but I was getting, like, Poppies every week, I would get, like, the Siete chips every week, and then I would have, like, tacos and pasta and pizza every week, and I'm just like, and then I signed up for HelloFresh, and it's probably not, like, the healthiest, but at least it's, like, I'm cooking, I'm making things fresh, I'm not having pizza every week, I'm not having tacos every week. It's like slightly healthier, I think. And then I also was eating like sandwiches for lunch every day, like eating bread and having like avocado toast in the morning, which probably isn't like super unhealthy, but eating a lot more. I was eating a lot more like bread and carbs, and then recently I switched. I'm like, I'm gonna have salads for lunch, so I'll have like just like some lettuce with some grilled chicken on it. And just making those small changes. So I don't get chips anymore. I don't get Poppies anymore. If I have a snack, it's gonna be like a fruit.
Yeah, you know, I just realized something like, and this kind of lays into like all the topics too. But because it's like thinking about like, well, what are we gonna be faced with during the next 3 months? Another thing besides just like the holidays, etc. One thing that comes to mind is travel. A lot of people are going to be traveling over the next 3 months. And I even remember like that was actually what did it for me last year, is like that's how I fell off a little bit last year, is I was traveling, and it's like, you know, where I haven't eaten anything all day, and I got to go drive 3 hours back home, and I'm like, man, I'm so hungry. Again, like I totally set myself up for failure on this day, but I was like, man, I'm so hungry, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? That Wendy's over there sounds awesome. And it's like, I'm going to be on the road for the next 3 hours. And it's like, I'm just going to go over there Like, I'm going to burn this off, this week anyways. But I'm going to go over there. I'm going to get myself 2 cheeseburgers and 2 Diet Cokes. And that'll keep me full for the whole entire ride home. And it's like, because like I didn't eat anything up until that point. And it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I don't advise, like, I already set up myself for failure because I didn't eat breakfast or anything. But like, that is a reality.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you not set yourself up for failure in those situations? Because that is hard. And it's like, maybe it's having that like pre-planned out in your head. Like, okay, I'm going to this place. I'm going to this, part of the country, or, I'm going out of town. Like, personally for me, I don't think I could, maybe, and this is a thought, but like maybe going to the extreme of like prepping food for that trip. Like, that sounds horrible to me, but I know that is something that some people do, right? That is an option. People might think you're crazy for doing it, but you can tell them why. Hey, I'm just doing this for 90 days, blah, blah, blah. If they're your true friend, like, they'll respect that. They want the best for you. Now, and then also it's like, hey, I'm going to the East Coast this weekend, or the West Coast this weekend. Like, I can eat Chick-fil-A grilled nuggets. Like, that's something I know I can eat, or like I'm going to allow myself to eat. So it's like, there's Chick-fil-A's everywhere. So like, if we're on the road, like, this is the thing that I'm going to eat. And like, I got it pre-planned out in my head. Like, this is going to be the alternative for me. This is going to be the option that I'm going to choose on. Like, when people are like, hey, we're going to go get food. Where do you want to go? It's like, let's go to Chick-fil-A and let's go get some grilled nuggets, or, grilled chicken sandwich, or like whatever it is, right? Do your research, do your homework for when you're on the go. That way you have like the backup plan for solving that issue. And that is a hard thing. Like, hey, you're out of town, you go to somebody's house, and it's like they got like nothing there. Like, they're just nothing, and it's uncomfortable being that one person in the room. I can't eat that, but we had that. We talked about that in one of our previous podcasts. So I don't want to go down.
Checked it out. What was that? Our first podcast.
Yeah, we don't need to go down that rabbit hole again. But I think it's reversed.
And then the last habit that I have would just be to track all these habits overall. So getting up early, quiet time, working out, diet, prayer, and like, in order to help you be consistent, I think it's important to like somehow track it. So that way like, if you're being consistent, if you're making progress, etc. So I actually have like a whiteboard in my room. And so what I think I'm going to do is write out all those goals that I just listed out, and then maybe like each day of the week, and then I'll like check off each day. That way I'm like, tracking my goals and staying consistent. Because it kind of holds yourself accountable, I think.
Exactly.
And then it's satisfying when you like check it off.
Yeah, like there's multiple ways that you can choose to track things too. That was one of the things I was thinking when I was coming over here, is right, like you can just do something every day and just create like the consistency out of it, or you can do like a pyramid method where like you build as you go, right? It's like, start with like really small, like really, really super small, and be like, hey, I want to, over the next 90 days, I want to work up to doing X, right? It's like, one of the things that we haven't touched on yet, but and I guess we can kind of use this for everything. It's like, one thing I really want to get into more is like cold exposure, of like sitting in cold water, and I want to build up, like, I haven't picked out a number, but like I just want to build that capacity in that. So like, obviously, like, you're not gonna start at like the maximal thing that you can do. It's like, what's something that's like achievable, or like, can I accomplish like this week? Like, I can do 3 minutes today, and then it's like building that like resilience through repetition, and like do 3 minutes every day this week, and then the next week I'm gonna do like 3 minutes and like 3 minutes and 15 seconds the next week. Build, and then like once you hit a certain point, because there's like you could get to a certain point where like I'm just capped at doing this. Like I can't do this for 10 minutes, right? Or over 10 minutes, or I can't do this for 30 minutes, or else I'm gonna like just go hypothermic.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like, or like how cold the water is, or something like that, or like I'm gonna go in up to my neck, or like trying to find that piece of progression, and that's like the base of this is like the you can either just, hey, I'm gonna do 15 minutes a day, or it's like I'm gonna build up and do it, and then.
What are the health benefits of doing that?
Definitely, I'd say the biggest one for me is like reducing inflammation. Now, there's like literature out there. There's always counter literature out there. It's like, I forget what, I guess it plays into your dopamine, or like it spikes your dopamine, which like ages you faster. Because it's like you're putting yourself in like the fight or flight situation where it's like, you sit in cold water for the first time, your body's like, get me out of here, and like what that can do, like you build up a mental resilience of like being able to fight through this. Now the long-term effects could be like, hey, you age faster, or like, it is a form of stress that you're adding onto your life. Like that's something you have to put in, like you have to understand, like it's in some sense it's taking away stress, but also at the same time it's also giving it, because it's like you're in a uncomfortable situation. Like your body doesn't want to be that. Basically it's the same stress hormone, where like if you're on an airplane and it's about to crash, like, oh my gosh, get out of here. And it's like, if you're doing that, if you're replaying that in your mind every single day, if every day you went on an airplane and like it was like crashing, and you gotta get put the what's it called, the flotation device on and everything, and the life vest, like you have to go through that process every day. Like, oh my gosh, today might be the day. Oh no, today might be the day, and today might like it just. Keep going through that over your head. It's like, that's not good for your system. Yeah. I know I've talked more almost about like the bad effects right now, but that is like a reality to keep in mind. But I find that being in there, definitely, like I'll feel so much better the next day. And doing it like at night, like a couple hours after you work out, is a lot better versus right after. I definitely think like cognitive function helps. I know like some people talk about like breathing and everything, but my biggest two factors, like my biggest factor that I'm leaning on is like I want to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because this is like another, like I've gotten uncomfortable in training. I want this to be another outlet where like I'm just getting uncomfortable. But like just to kind of grow the mental capacity a little bit. So that, but when I get out, I feel like a brand new person with brand new joints and limbs and muscles, and gets all the soreness out of my body, especially like the longer I'm in it. So yeah, that's one thing that I want to do, is like I want to, like every week I just want to like make it a little bit more challenging. Like this week I want to try and do 3 minutes a day, every day this week, sitting in like the 40-degree tub.
Is that safe?
Yeah, I mean like
to do it that long.
I mean, there's a working out isn't safe.
I just mean like the hypothermia acts like, I don't know how long your body can handle.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think like
being underworder for holding your breath.
It's definitely
so long.
It's a tolerance thing for sure. It's a tolerance thing for sure. It's definitely a tolerance thing. It's you can only go so long until it's like actually becomes a true problem. I mean, I know some people, they're like, yeah, they do like 10 minutes. Like, I don't know.
Sit up, buddy.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
I know that's what they have to do. That's what you have to do as a Navy SEAL, is they put you out in the cold water and they spray you with a fire hose, and they create all this chaos, and they shoot off a bunch of guns and rockets like while you're like just treading water in cold water with your hands above your head, and people are just like yelling things at you. It just sounds crazy.
Oh, no thanks.
I'm like, part of me wants to experience that. Sounds cool.
Oh my gosh. That's scary.
Just to be in like wet clothes and like 40-degree weather. Just people like shooting guns off in the background and
Wow.
screaming. Bombs and explosives going off. It's like, yeah, they're definitely training people for like the worst possible. Like
Oh
close to
my
death.
gosh. Wow.
I definitely think like to kind of like come back to like the why in which we're doing this, and there could be multiple reasons, but like I like drawing on some of like that inspiring stuff of it, like, because like that, those are the hardest people. I mean, the Navy SEALs, and it's like you see what they're doing, you know, all for what exactly, right? And it's like you have to have a deep why. But some of like it's inspiring to hear like some of the stuff that like they talk about, like what they went through. Like I was listening to a story the other day of this dude had to tie 5 knots underwater, and he's like saying it's like you know, couple, like not just like 4 feet underwater, like deep underwater, tie 5 knots, and you can only come up like twice or something, to, you know, for air, and you have to do it within a certain time frame. And it's like this one dude did it, and like he was like on his last knot, and he completely drowned because he didn't want to get cut. He drowned, but like they rescued him, brought him back up, and like the guy that was like running it, he was just like, you know, he's like coughing up water and everything. And as soon as like he comes back, like he comes conscious again, he's like, "Did I pass?" Like that's the only thing he mattered. He's just like, he's like, "Yeah, you passed, but you almost cost me my job," you know? So it's like, basically like the test was, you know, how far will you go?
Yeah.
How far will you go mentally
Wow.
into that suck? Like literally till death to accomplish this thing for like, obviously if it doesn't mean that much to you, you're not going to die for it. You know, like these people are literally going to the point of death to, you know, and it's like, you have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, why are you actually doing this? And it can't be about like, you have to find a way, like you have to like not make it about you in some sense. At least that's what they were saying. Like, I think for this, it's like, this is a good way to test that, you know, to try and find what your limits are. Because yeah, it's like, it's all easy right now because it's like the first week, right? It's October 7th, right? We're 7 days into October. You know, this just kind of started. It's easy now. It's like in a week it's going to get harder. In another week it's going to get even harder. You know, a month, halfway through, that's like, I always find it's like, it's in between like the first quarter and the ending. Or no, like the first quarter and like that halfway point. It's like, I always find it's like, as long as I can get to the halfway point, like I can survive this. Like I can make this through. It's like, I feel like it's the first, it's like the first 2/3. Like once you get 2/3 in, like that's when it's like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
You know, that's where like the enemy wants to come in and be like, to take you away. And like you will be attacked, and you know things are not going to go your way. But I think that's what this kind of teaches is like, can you stand firm on what you're trying to push yourself to do? Because like on any day you can, on any given day you can do these things. You can do, like, you can follow this diet, you can go exercise, you can whatever. But doing that every single day over the next 3 months, like that's the hard part. Because it's like you will want to break. It is coming.
You're making me nervous now. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it's good. It's good to talk about.
It's reality.
For me, I think it's like, as far as a mental thing, what would help is like, I think they say it takes 21 days to form a habit. something like that. It's like between 21 to 30 days to form a habit.
Yeah.
So it's like as long as you can get through those first 21 days,
Yeah.
you should be normalized to it at that point.
Yeah. Momentum is everything too.
Yeah.
It's like that's the thing, like, that's another thing I didn't really think about too. Is like eventually you'll see the side effect. I feel like it's almost like the first early phase, and that's why I say like 2/3 because it could be anywhere. It could be day 3 or it could be week 3 where you're starting to be like, why am I doing this? But eventually you get like halfway and you're like, man, I'm almost there. I see what this is building. If I can go another 75 more or 45 more days, what am I gonna look like at the end of it? And it's like you kind of create that momentum. Like, man, I feel so great. You get a little bit more confident. You know, like you create like an addiction back into it.
Yes.
It's like you want to, like, you're almost chasing the dopamine a little bit.
I actually have a question. I guess it kind of depends on what you're doing, but when do you think, like, for someone to take, like, a lifestyle shift, like, how long does it take to see, like, a change, you think? Or anything, it really just depends on what they're doing, right? Because it's hard to, because I feel like for me, I feel like a part of the reason why I'm not consistent is because I don't see, like, that much of a difference necessarily. But I feel like I stopped probably of being consistent probably right before, like, I would start seeing that change.
Yeah.
So it's just like a constant
I mean, that's
cycle
like, that's the reality is like everybody quits and breaks up when like breakthrough's on breakthrough's on the way.
Yeah.
Like, just hold on for a couple more days and then it's finally gonna happen.
Well, that's why
if you give up now, it won't ever happen.
Yeah.
So just stay strong.
Well, I think that's a good reason why too to do like the 3 months, because I feel like people do have like, I feel like 3 months is actually a decent time to actually have like notice a difference by the end of the 3 months if you're consistent.
Oh my gosh, yes. You can.
So I feel like it'll be a good test for me to see like, okay, if I actually lock in for 3 months, like what is the results I'm gonna have, and then go from there.
Yeah, I mean, even just like to one thing, like when we first started this, I was talking about like getting more in community and you know, getting back in like faith stuff. I've already been able to see like the fruit that God is like bringing to me. Like it's the same thing. It's like, you know, I'm doing 3 groups and I'm like, you know, first week I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do 3 groups. It's gonna be awesome. And then it's like, man, I really don't want to show up to this group tonight. It's like, and obviously that's just the enemy, but it's like, you know, I just went to one. It's like the enemy's like telling you like little things, like, why am I doing all this? But then it's like, you overcome that. Like, no, I'm gonna go anyways. And then you go and you're like, man, like, why was I cursing the thing that's literally setting me free? You know, like, why, like, and that's what we do. And then you go do it, and then it's like, okay, this is why I'm doing it, and it draws you back in, and it almost inspires you to keep coming back, keep moving forward, versus pushing you away. So, it's like if at any moment, like, you're just like, I'm gonna I don't want to do this, I'm burnt out, just keep leaning in, because like it's just a season. It's just 3 months. But it's 3 months that could literally change your life for the better, like, drastically. Because you can make a lot of change in 3 months. I mean, I tell you what, from a diet aspect, if you diet well for 3 months and you're somebody that's, like, never exercised, never worked out, doesn't eat well, and you do that for the next 3 months, I'm telling you, like, all those, like, issues and all those strongholds that you have with that, it's going to go away and you're going to be a completely different person.
Yeah.
Like, not only physically, but like mentally too.
Even like, I remember like when you were younger, maybe it was middle school or elementary school, I don't really know. But you did the whole 30 thing for 30 days. And I feel like that, like, I remember that, like, I feel like ever since you did that, it, like, changed your life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. From a diet aspect, abso-freaking-lutely.
And that was only 30 days.
Yeah, like, that was 30 days. And I remember, like, the crazy thing was, you go in thinking, like, it's only going to solve this one problem, but then it solves other problems. Like, I remember I had, like, a whole bunch of back knee. Just, like, I mean, I was probably 13 when I did this, but, like, you know, I'm going through a phase and, you know, tons of, like, acne everywhere. I mean, I'm playing sports, and that was, like, one of the crazy things is, like, I started eating differently, and, like, all of the acne went away.
Wow.
So,
yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
and, like, I lost, like, probably, like, 15 pounds or something, or, like, I mean, like, not only, I just remember, like, my whole body changed. Like, it wasn't even that I lost that much weight. It was, like, my body composition changed.
Yeah.
And, like, I wasn't really, like, full on, like, working out the way I do now, but it was, like, just the change of the diet from just, like, being a kid playing sports, you know, still playing the same sports, but changing my diet completely. And, like, my body responded to it where I had just, like, more energy, less fatigue, you know, could practice harder, lost all the acne, and lost weight. Like, and that was basically the number one thing we were trying to chase was, like, hey, I just want to, like, lose some weight. But it solved, I went in thinking it was only going to solve this one problem, but it solved 5 other things.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
And it's, like, taking everything that we've talked about today, you know, just like little tiny changes that you can make. Whether, you know, whether it's everything, you're going to make a little change with everything, or you're going to make all the change with all of them, or you're just going to focus on one thing and only one thing. Like maybe for some people, it's like, hey, I just need to wake up and go get in the Word every day. Or it's like, I just need to go get in the Word every day. That's going to be the one thing I do that's going to make this winter arc strong. And that's going to set me up for the new year. And God's going to speak to me in that time frame. And that's going to be the act of faith that I needed to take to make all these other things flow as well. So I think it's you just got to do it. You just got to show up and do it.
I'm excited now.
And, like, make those count down. Like, create the countdown. Like, in 90 days, you know, on January 1st.
I'm going to McDonald's.
Like, I have until January 1st to do this, you know? So, and I know, like, the devil's advocate is saying, like, well, you know, don't you feel like this is a little bit of, like, an unhealthy thing to do, like, this on and off deal? Because then you're going to binge and go back the other way. I think that for some people, that may be the case. I also feel like that's an easy out to pull yourself away from something like this. Does that make sense? Or it's like, why wouldn't you just do something that's more sustainable over a longer period of time? And I think, like, what this shows is this period will stretch you in a different way over the next 3 months to doing something that's completely out of your comfort zone that isn't sustainable for over a year, but going through this unsustainability, it'll stretch you to make you think what you can do for a year. Does that make sense? It's like, you know, I have a horrible diet right now and I'm going to make this big drastic change. And people will be like, well, you know, you're going to binge and gain all the weight back in the next 90 days. That might be the case for some people. But it might also open up the door of, like, hey, no, like, I can actually go without this. This taught me a lot. And I'm going to apply this to the rest of my life. And now it's like, okay, I don't have to go to this extreme, but I am going to continue to do these couple things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like it's a good learning experience too. Kind of like building off what you were saying. Like, when I cut out sugar, I realized how much sugar I was eating, even though it wasn't, like, a lot, but it was, like, more than I was aware of. Like, just, like, my everyday coffee creamer or whatever. And then I switched to, like, no sugar coffee creamer or whatever. And that was one thing that I, like, have been consistent with now. I'm like, all right, I can live with no sugar coffee creamer more long term, instead of just 30 days or whenever I did it. And yeah, I've stuck with that. Same with the no alcohol thing. I did no alcohol for 30 days, and now I'm like, you know what? I can just do without it. And yeah, so it's a good learning experience too, of what you can handle, because you don't really know unless you try it, I guess. Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah, because like you brought up the whole 30, and I'm like, you know, if it wasn't for going through that experience, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. And that was just a 30 days.
I just remember that being like a turning point.
Yeah.
I don't know why, like I have like a significant
That's a
memory
really
of
good
it.
point. Because like you could have easily said like, oh, you go on a diet like that for 30 days, yeah, you'll lose all the weight, then you'll gain it all back. Like that's what everybody says nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's like that's just because they're not willing to actually try to like do these things.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of an excuse from trying it and doing it.
Yeah.
I do agree you have to like do some like we're acknowledging that this is just going to be a short time frame thing. I feel like it's a lot harder to be like, oh, I'm going to cut out all this stuff for like the rest of my life and make a whole lifestyle change like that. I
It's
feel
not
like
realistic.
that is more realistic of like you going back and gaining all the weight back on again. But I feel like, no, I'm going to lock in for 3 months, see what I can handle, learn what I can handle, and then implement it into like my lifestyle long term. That's different to me, and I feel like that's a better way to go about it.
Yeah, because I remember like the biggest thing was, you know, when you're going from eating and drinking soda and eating candy and eating, you know, Philly cheesesteaks and whatever, right? You go from that, and then you go like, you're like, I'm not eating any of this, and I'm not eating like any sugary foods, and then you create this appreciation for, you know, like it was crazy how much my taste buds changed because I remember when we were in that phase, I went to a Starbucks with you, and they had like some unsweet tea there. Or like I remember Dad was like, "Well, you can get this there if you go. Like you can."
When you were doing the whole thing.
Yeah, like I remember like you went there to like go study or something, go work on something. And I came in there and I got a drink, and you like took a sip of it, and you're like, "Oh, this is like so bad. Like it's so like it's not sweet at all." And then I was like, "This is actually like really good." And you made the point. You were like, "Man, like your taste buds must have really changed because before then, I mean, I was eating probably like chocolate milk and like all kinds of just junk, you know." And it's crazy drawing back because it's like if you're somebody that's like I used to be that person of like, you know, I'm eating like cheeseburgers and Doritos and Oreos and just like sweets all the time. And then now it's like I don't even like identify myself with any of that food. It's like I see that stuff and I run because I'm like, this kept me in this form, and I never want to be that again. So it's like it was like my escape, and it's like I have no desire to want to be like that.
Yeah. I think we take for granted too. We kind of grew up in a household where, like, we never really were a family to get. I mean, if we did get those chips and stuff, it was locked away up in a closet. We had to ask permission to eat it.
Yeah. But that, like, came with time, too. Like, because before then, it wasn't like that. Like, the snacks were everywhere, you know, eat as many as you want, you know. Like, there were some restrictions, like...
But I just remember, like, always going to, like, a friend's house, and their parents would make like pancakes for breakfast. I'm like, I never have pancakes for breakfast. Or they had Pop-Tarts in the whole pack of Oreos just open on the shelves. I'm like, if our family had that, it would be gone in a day. Like, how do you guys keep it on the shelf?
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember always thinking that.
Yeah. It's actually crazy. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, no hate on if you grew up in a house like that or anything. It's just we kind of, from what I remember in our childhood, I feel like we weren't exposed to a lot of that. So now, like, it's almost look weird to me when I like, now that I'm an adult, I have the opportunity to get, you know, whatever I want when I go grocery shopping, and I I've only gotten the Siete chip since I've moved out, you know, but then
Yeah.
I stopped doing that, and that's like a healthier alternative,
I
I guess.
know.
But like, I don't even buy that now. It's been months since I've gotten those.
Yeah.
But like, I could never see myself just like getting a bag of Doritos and bringing them home. Like, I'm just like, unless I'm having like guests over or something, like a party or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something uncomfortable right now.
Uh-oh. What is it? Go ahead.
If you can address that you have an addiction towards a food,
Uh-huh.
like, that is an addiction. And it's like, that needs to be dealt with.
If you
Because
can't...
it's not serving you well.
If you can't address that you're...
Or no, if you can address that you have an addiction towards a food, like, you need to address that. It's just like any other addiction. Because whatever that food is, and it could be even like a healthy food, you need to address it. And let's be honest, like, if it's a real healthy food, you're probably not, like, no one's addicted to eating egg whites and chicken breast.
Broccoli and
Yeah, like, nobody, like, if you are, like, kudos to you. Keep falling into that addiction. But I don't know a single person that is addicted to any food like that.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that somebody typically craves.
There's probably someone on that My Strange Addiction show that's, like, obsessed with eating salads or something like that. No.
Yeah, it's probably got a lot of ranch dressing on it. It's probably the ranch dressing that's the...
Probably.
I'm like, honestly, yeah, like, the thought of eating a salad, like, just plain with, like, no dressing, nothing on it, like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's rough. I've never done that. I'd rather just not eat the salad, period. But anyways, yeah, like, address what that thing is, and, like, you need to think, like, hey, is this helping me or hurting me?
Yeah.
You know? That should be addressed. Not saying you can't have it all the time, or, you know, depends on how bad it is, but I think, like, over the next 90 days, like, maybe that's the one thing that needs to be cut out. It's, like, the one thing that you always come back to. Like, it sounded like it's really weird, but, like, last year when I did this, I was like, my weird addiction, food addiction, my strange addiction was rotisserie chickens. And it's like, you might be like, well, like, it's chicken, it's like, it's healthy.
Yeah, the ones at the Publix
But
have all these chemicals.
It's not even that it has all the chemicals in it. The problem is if there was a rotisserie chicken in the house, and if there was barbecue sauce in the house, or ketchup, those two combined, I would just sit at the kitchen counter and eat the whole thing in one sitting. And as much sauce that I want. And it's like, but it's chicken. It's a healthy food. Well, what I was doing with that chicken wasn't healthy.
What were you doing with the chicken?
And it's like, that's something that needs to be addressed. I'm not like, now, you cut the chicken apart. You have it, like, portioned out. You know, chicken thigh, chicken breast, chicken tender. You know, grilled, etc. Made in a healthy way. It's like, now you put that in front of me, like, I'm not gonna want to eat, 13 chicken breasts. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, I might have one and I'll get tired of it or full of it. The issue was, like, it was just such an addicting food. Like, my taste buds just loved it, which some people are probably like, but it's just like, it's chicken, like, it's healthy. It's just the way that it was formed, and the
issue is really the skin, the sauce.
The skin and everything else. Like, it was
just the
I'm
sauce.
basically sitting down to eat, like, 3,000 calories in one meal, and, like, not really paying too much attention to it. But that's not healthy. Another one was, like, condiments and sauce.
Sauce.
Like, I was like, I'm not, like, no mayonnaise, no ketchup, like, nothing. I'm not putting any of that stuff on my food anymore. And I did that, and it's like, you realize how hungry you actually are. It's like, I'm literally just wanting to taste the taste of the sauce. And I'm putting on all of my food, and it's a large amount of food, and now I'm just overindulging. So, comment down below. Comment down below what you're going to do for this winter arc,
and who your accountability partner
Yeah,
is.
maybe
Don't
like,
give their full name, but just like a first name or initial, and make sure they know that they're your accountability partner.
or what if they like were to tag like 3 friends that they want to do the
Yeah,
winter
that's
arc
true. Yeah, tag 3 friends down below.
that you want to do the winter arc with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Boom. Perfect.
Yes, let's go! Yay! I'm excited.
And share this video with them, and you may win
A hug.
something.
Free hugs.
You may win a newly formed self.
Oh yeah. You get
image
yourself a
at the-
pat on the back.
Yep. You'll win being a completely different person in the next 90 days.
Yes. A new life, a new beginning, a new year.
I think we all need a challenge every now and then, you know?
Yeah, I feel like I don't challenge myself enough sometimes. It's good.
We all need something different. We all can challenge ourselves in a new way, right? Like, that's kind of the idea. It's like, I need a different challenge. Working out's not my challenge.
All right, we'll see you all next week.
Yep. Adios.
Adios.